Well, good night, good night, good night. I just want to say what a wonderful night it has been tonight. So let me say a special good night and welcome to all the persons who have come here tonight. Oh, I'm in awe. I am literally dumbstruck. I listened to every single speaker, and I was really moved. And so I just want everybody to give a big round of applause. And so let me just say to the wonderful women who spoke tonight, we are all proud of you. Really, really proud of you. And let me just greet my colleagues, the members of the Redeem team. Let me also greet the executive members of the United Progressive Party. I want to greet all of our supporters. And I want to also reach out to those who are listening or watching out in the diaspora. Omaima, DeReed, and all the others, we know you're watching.
Next week.
And whatever you say, we know that you are with the United Progressive Party. I want to also say that tonight's meeting, which has been so thoughtfully executed, is indeed historic. And I want to thank you for the way you've come out in support of the party, the way you've come out in support of the Redeem team, and humbly I say, the way you have expressed your support for me as leader. I truly appreciate it, and I am indeed humbled. Now, I also want to thank Brother Baldwin Spencer, who has been an advocate for this event and who has really supported it in every way possible.
Yes.
Well, as they say, women's affairs is everybody's affairs. And I also want to believe that the involvement of our women, as you've shown here tonight, is testimony of what will come in the future. We expect that the powerful women of the United Progressive Party will play a most important role in the new administration going forward. And I just want to also say that we will continue to demonstrate our love and our respect for the sensibilities of our women, for the abilities of our women, and for the ideas of our women. Yes. And let me give you the absolute assurance that the United Progressive Party today is stronger, more focused than we have been for a very, very long time. And this is due in no small measure to the role that you, the women of the United Progressive Party, have played and that you continue to play, giving direction and being the wind beneath the wings of the United Progressive Party. Now, you would know, based on all that we're hearing, that it seems as though they're cranking up for some kind of election. But I want them to know, and let there be absolutely no doubt, that we are ready for any election that Gaston Browne calls in this country. Now, we're hearing the game plan, because we know what the game plan is. We heard it from red mouth spokesman. The red mouth spokesman, he is the one who said that their game plan is to discredit the leaders of the United Progressive Party.
He says so. He says so.
You know, so what they're trying to do is to find all kinds of ways to create issues where there are no issues, to create doubt where people are clear. But I want to ask the people of Antigua and Barbuda to stand firm. I want to ask the people of Antigua and Barbuda to realize what it is that they're trying to do. We heard just the other day when he tried to undermine confidence in our brother Sherfield Bowen up in St. Philip's North, St. Philip's South. We heard him when he tried to undermine confidence in brother Sean Bird in Rural East. Well, he came and he tried to, with some sort of story, try to discredit me. And you can see this is a liar on steroids. This is a liar on steroids. And then 2 weeks ago, we heard him with trying to discredit brother Anthony Smith in All Saints West. And then over the last week now, he came back trying to create division between myself, Sister Giselle, and brother Jamal Pringle, the esteemed and distinguished representative for All Saints East and St. Luke. But I want to tell him, and I want to tell him clearly, and I'm telling him, and if he's not listening, I want you who hear to tell him that all his efforts, whether to create any form of disunity, confusion with his lies, they will fail. They will fail. We will confound his lies and we will confuse his knavish tricks. My brothers and sisters, I want to tell Gaston Browne and his band of misfits, those tactics will not work. We have a solid team. We are more united than ever. And I want him to know that the people have seen through him. And when he's trying to damage and doubt our credibility, the people know that he has no credibility. No credibility at all. None whatsoever. Now, yesterday morning, he was on the radio. And now he coming to the public and he pulling figures out of his unmedicated brain. He using lies again. And we have to attack this man and his lies. Because I have said it, and everybody knows the kind of person I am. My preference is to have a clean campaign. I say what our policies are, we stick to that. But let me make it clear. If you come with any attack, we're going to attack you back. We're going to match you shot for shot. Because we are not afraid of you, Gaston Browne. And I want you to understand that the United Progressive Party, we right now, we are ready to carry the battle. And we are ready to redeem this country and to bring justice, fair play, prosperity to Antigua and Barbuda. Imagine talking about how we overborrow and we bring Antigua to the brink of a failed state. Imagine this failed experiment. Talking about we bring country to brink of failed state. My brothers and sisters, I just want everybody to understand what is really happening here. He is talking and saying that during the global crisis, that as finance minister, the country shrank by 21%. All right, over 3 years. But why doesn't he pay attention to the fact that in 1 year, he shrank the economy of this country by 17%. In 1 year. Unprecedented in the history of this country. And then if he's going to blame COVID, tell the people why is it that we are the second worst performing economy in the entire Western Hemisphere. The 8th worst in the entire world. And the worst in the OECS. So how are you going to blame COVID? What happened to St. Kitts? What happened to Grenada? What happened to Dominica? We are the worst performing in the entire Eastern Caribbean. Because in the budget presentation that he made earlier this year, one single year, and he talking about I am failure. Shame. Let me tell you, my good people, and when is similar 5-year period. That's fact. I can tell you that even as Minister of Finance, in terms of initiatives, the Construct Antigua and Barbuda initiative, which up to now you're relying on, that happened under my watch. And we were able to come out of the global recession ahead of all the other OECS countries, head of the class, after being hit by not only the global crisis, the crash of Stanford, over 2,500 jobs directly were lost, and we held it together. Yes. We held it together. We had the crash of British American at the same time, and we held it together. So I want Gaston Browne to know that when he talk about borrowing, we are not afraid to say if we borrow for the airport is there for you to see. It is the face of Antigua and Barbuda. And when you and your minister strutting up and down, tell them a UPP build that. Yes. When you bring your travel agents and you say what a wonderful airport, tell them UPP build that. Yes. When you bring all your other friends and you're boasting, tell them UPP build that. And we can go on and on in terms of the things that we have done. And when it comes to transparency, we did not hide the Article 4 report prepared by the IMF. We allowed people to see what was happening. But you hide the report. Why are you hiding the report? Because you want people to believe the lies that you're pushing out. But an objective report, just the other day, last week, they put out the report on St. Kitts. And they said a lot of things about St. Kitts, gave St. Kitts glowing reports, saying they're doing really well. Show the people of Antigua and Barbuda Antigua's report. Yes. That's it to do. Yes. Study that. Yes. So I want everybody to understand, brothers and sisters, that this is a crucial time. Yes. The election that is coming is for the heart and the soul of this nation. Because we have a pathological liar who calls himself Prime Minister. And when he should be studying the suffering of our people, when he should be looking for ways to alleviate the hardship of our people, looking about our students, looking about the elderly and their pensions, making arrangements so that we can all have a better life, he is on the radio like a little girl. He's on the radio like a child playing with crayons. He's on the radio talking foolishness, ignoring the plight of the people of Antigua and Barbuda. Right. We say shame. Shame. And if we have 5 more years of this failed experiment, my brothers and sisters, the people can take no more. We want to know, where are the accounts for NAMCO or NAMCO? Where are the accounts for the National Housing and Urban Development Corporation? Where are the accounts? Where are the accounts? My brothers and sisters, we have seen a government that is so careless with the people's money and is only concerned with the enrichment of his family, and his friends. So much has been said tonight about that Share Incorporated fiasco, that example of nepotism and corruption, that example of conflict of interest, where you elect a man, prime minister no less, and all that he can do is see how he can enrich himself. Now, you've heard about the purchase by Share Incorporated of that land with the building down at Lower North Street. But it is an act of deception of the worst kind. And I'll show you why. When you look at the cabinet decision, the cabinet decision spoke about this. They said, Cabinet also noted the request to purchase 10,000 square feet of land. Cabinet also notes that the foundation is prepared to spend more than $200,000 to repair and expand the structure and to make it a center for the benefit of the entire community. The building, the cabinet decision says, will continue to be utilized for community purposes. It says the cost of the land, given its intended non-commercial use, is reasonably priced at $3 per square foot or $30,000. No, I want you to also remember that on the 8th of February 2017, an article appeared in the Observer newspaper. It was an article written by Linroy Samuel. The headline says, Gaston Browne says Share Incorporated is suspended. Now he went on to say that the Share Incorporated, in the same article, had $100,000 in ACB and CUB Bank. He said the money would be given to the VC Bird Trust to establish a museum at Tomlinson's. Where is the museum at Tomlinson's, Gaston Browne? Ooh. But listen to this part now. He went on to say, bear in mind, how much did he say they were prepared to spend for community purposes? You listening? 200,000. He said they're going to spend 200,000 on the building. Well, hear this now. He said the other money that they have, he said 200,000 will be given to a group doing a media facility. Now, when you hear a group doing a media facility and community purposes, the impression he is giving you is that money is going to the community for people who are doing some sort. But Point FM is right there now. And we want to ask him, the money that he collected for charitable purposes, and charitable purposes has a very clear definition. It is for the promotion of education, the promotion of health, the well-being of people, giving scholarships to young people, and doing those things. Those are charitable purposes. So when you take money that you've collected for use in helping in a charitable way, and you use that money to give to, as you call it, a media group, we call on you tonight. Name the media group that got the $200,000. Name the media group that got the $200,000. So you're out there collecting money on the Share Incorporated and making people believe that that money is going to be used to empower people. And I'm asking all the good people of St. John's City West, ask yourselves, if that land at a concessionary price had been used to develop a community facility for the benefit of the community, you have Harmonites right there. You have Hell's Gate down the road. You have so many opportunities. You have the cruise port to the east. You have the cargo port to the west. Wouldn't this be a shining example for the community to uplift the City West community? And that's why I say the next man for City West has to be Brother Alistair Thomas. We can no longer go with somebody who is from a ghetto. He like to boast and say he come from ghetto. He like to boast and say he yam mango for breakfast and green fig for lunch. But he forget where he come from. Yes. He has forgotten where he come from. He's one of those people, he climb up the ladder, and when he reached up, he not clear, he don't kick it down. He haul him up. He haul it up. Because when you kick it down, he's afraid somebody might put it up and come up. So he don't kick it down, he haul it up. So, these are real issues, my brothers and sisters, that we have to think about. And when you look again, farmers are suffering. People can't get water. Farmers bawling they can't get water. And he has no shame to be boasting with his $1 million farm. Best tractor, best backhoe, best generator. And people in Pint can't find food to eat. Did we in Pint, I'm asking, did the people of Pint elect a representative only for himself, his family, and his friends? No. Or did you elect someone hoping they would have made your life better? And the same thing applies to the nation of Antigua and Barbuda. No form of relief or stimulus package for the people. No sense of love for the people. No compassion for the people of Antigua and Barbuda. It's all of self. Brothers and sisters, we need to make sure that we change this administration under the leadership of Gaston Browne. We have to get rid of this administration, which is driving the people deep and deep into poverty. Because I ask anybody, do you feel better off today than you felt in 2014? Do you feel better today than you felt in 2014? The answer has to be no. And that is because the policy of the leader of the country is not a people-focused policy. It is a policy that's based purely on self-enrichment. Self-enrichment. And that is why when you go to Jennings, you have $600,000 per month being $600,000 per year, $600,000 per year being paid to family of the Prime Minister over in Jennings. Can you imagine that? $600,000 a year is going over to the family of the Prime Minister. They got the land down at North Street for little or nothing. They exchanged, this is his baby mother now, exchanged land out at Friars Hill at a difference in price between 71,000 and 600 and odd thousand. That is how they do it. You have his son who benefited at Long Bay with $2 million easily. Nobody has benefit. The land right now is in Bush, Cassie. No benefit for the nation. On the UPP, that would have been a state-of-the-art public park. Everybody would have enjoyed it. We would have had bathroom facilities. We would have had restaurants run by local people. That is not what they are focused on. They are only focused on building themselves, building a nest for themselves, and enriching themselves and their families. My brothers, I want you to understand that this state of affairs can no longer be allowed to continue. And so, I just want to end tonight by praising the women of the United Progressive Party. This has been a wonderful night of education and enlightenment. I want to thank the powerful and the strong women of the UPP. I want to say we honor and we respect you and the strength that you bring to the table. I want to say that we recognize, and this is in a broader sense, we recognize the contribution that has been made by the women of Antigua and Barbuda to the political life and to the development of this nation. And I give a full assurance that the United Progressive Party, I give that full assurance, I give a solemn promise that the women of this nation will be honored and elevated. The women of this nation will take their rightful place.
Yes.
We will make certain that all the women in the party, the women who are patriotic, and all the women who want to see this country advance, they will take their rightful place.
Yes.
And this is a day that we can all look forward to. And so, my brothers and sisters, let us say once again, tonight has been indeed a wonderful night.
No retreat.
I want to thank you all sincerely from my heart. You have indeed warmed me.
Yes.
You have made me happy.
You're welcome, sir.
And I want to encourage you to keep on keeping on. And one more time, let me hear it. One more time, let me hear it. One more time, let me hear it. No retreat!
No surrender!
No retreat!
No surrender!
No retreat!
No surrender!
One love. God bless you. God bless Antigua and Barbuda. My brothers and sisters, forward ever, backward never.